Just in time for Valentine's Day, I've got a really cute project for you where we're going to transform this fabric heart into the most adorable envelope through the magic of a little origami. I'm going to be sewing this one today, but you could absolutely make this without a sewing machine, and you can even make it from paper. Let me show you the inside. I will unsnap it, and it is just folded so that it can keep its heart shape. Inside, I have a couple of heart chocolates. I have a little box of those conversation hearts, so traditional, and a cute little Valentine. The fabric then unfolds into the heart and can be refolded into the envelope. Super quick, super easy. So let's go over to the cutting table and I'll show you how to make this. My sewing skills are absolutely on point. My drawing skills, not so much. So I chose to find a heart template to trace. This is something I picked up very inexpensively. I traced it to make a pattern piece. Another option would be to, just like in elementary school, fold a piece of paper in half and trace out the half of a heart, and you know it's going to be symmetrical when you cut it out. Or you can download a template from the internet. I went for a sure thing with tracing this wooden heart. I picked out several fat quarters in some cheerful Valentine themed fabric, and I wanted my pouch or my envelope to have a little body to it because I knew I was going to be putting some candy in it. So I used some SF101, that's Shape Flex by Pellon, to interface just the exterior fabric. I'm going to bring the camera down and I'm going to show you how I made these. You can see where I've already cut out one heart. My heart is about 10.5 by 9.5, and I find that I can get 2 hearts. Maybe if it were skinnier, I could have gotten 3 with careful placement. I don't want to waste fabric, so I'm going to place my heart down here in the corner. I also don't want to waste my interfacing. I have little scrap pieces. You can frankenfoam them, meaning use multiple pieces, but I like to see if I can find a piece that doesn't waste much, and I find that works well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my fabric over, and I'm going to place my heart so that I know where I want it. Line up my interfacing, and let's see how that goes. Yes, I can scooch it over here, and I'll probably trim some of this away, and then I'll iron this onto my fabric. I can either trace it after I iron it on with the friction pen, or I can just directly cut it out with my rotary cutter. I have 2 hearts. This one is my interfaced with the Shape Flex. This one is not interfaced. And I'm going to place them right sides together. And then I'm going to pin or clip all the way around. And I'm going to leave an opening on one of the long edges. I'm just going to use this red friction pen. Leave a little bit. I only need a 2-inch opening because this isn't a lot of bulk here. And you can either clip them together or you can pin them. And sew all the way around, leaving this opening, back tack at the beginning and the end so you can turn it right side out. I sewed this using the edge of my press foot to keep my seam allowance even. And now I'm going to trim away some of the bulk, and I'm going to use pinking shears to do this. If you did this in a fabric that didn't fray like felt, then you would not need to do this. You might want to just for the look of the pinking. See how it leaves these little jagged edges? It can look really pretty. It's going to be in the inside. Nobody's going to see it. But if you were doing this out of a single layer of fabric, then you might want to do this as a decorative edge. Since there's a lot of curve going on, I'm going to trim all this away. Then I'm going to turn it right side out and I'm going to press it. I gave my heart a quick press. This is where my opening is. Now I'm going to go over to the sewing machine. I'm going to sew at about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. I'm going to lengthen my stitch length to 3. This will close the opening and give it a nice look, top stitching all the way around. So I'm going to do that and I'll meet you back here. I think this gingham is really cute. I'm a sucker for gingham, so I'm going to use this as the exterior. And you'll see I've ironed down a few memory creases. It kind of helps to get things just the way you want them. So I made a memory crease going straight down the center of my heart, and then I folded it in. And I did a couple of practice folds to get it to where it sat, where I felt like this was even and this was even and equal distance to form a nice triangle up here. So what you're going to do is these kind of rounded parts of the heart are folded in. I've got the point of the heart down here, and then you fold this up and the triangle down, and that forms your envelope. Let me show you again really quick. Might be easier for you to see if I orient it with the bottom of the heart up. So I've got wrong side facing up. These rounded parts of the heart are going to fold in almost but not quite to the center. You can see my memory crease right here. And then I'm going to form my envelope by folding this. So what's now the bottom facing me up. And I want this to form a nice envelope. So I want this edge to be even. I'm not going to be sewing the sides. I'm going to leave that all open, but I am going to be putting a snap here and a snap here to close my envelope. Now I could take this and do a little extra fussiness to get my stripes to line up, and I probably will do that. I don't know. I don't think I'll do it if it makes my heart envelope look wonky. I'm going to install a snap to close it. If you don't have cam snaps, I'm using them because that's what I have. You can put the soft part of the Velcro here and the kind of prickly side here, and then use that to close it. Or if you were doing this with paper, what I would do is I would put a piece of tape across here, a little wider than the slit you're going to make, to reinforce it. Then I would make a slit, and I would then tuck this part into the slit. The slit would just be to reinforce it. You could also use a sticker. So many ways you could use this and make this. I think this would be a fantastic way to invite people to a Valentine's party or a Galentine's party. I'm going to be sending my grandchildren some sweet treats and cute little Valentine cards in it. So let's get our cam snaps in, and we will have number 2 finished, and then I just have 2 more to go. For the snaps, I will need 2 caps, a female end and a male end. And so I will find where I want to place it. I will make my placement for the top snap first. And usually, just so that I keep things straight, I put the female on top. That way I don't accidentally put 2 males or 2 females if I always do it the same way. So I'm going to make a little hole right here. This comes with the cam snap. And what you can do is line it up where you want it to sit, and you can either make an indent by poking, or you can use a tool like this heat erasable. It's going to be covered anyway by a snap, and make a little dot there. So I see where my dot is, and then I'm just going to poke it. And now I'm going to install my snaps. Now to make sure I have everything going the way I want, I quickly folded it back. I'm going to put my cap, because that's what's going to be presenting on the outside, and my female end. And then I'm going to take my tool and I'm going to rest it in, give it a quick squeeze, and I've got that installed. Now it's going to be snapping this way. So it's always good to just double check and test so you don't have to wind up removing some snaps. I'm going to put my cap in, poke that through. There we go. This one is the male end. I'm going to take my setting tool, give it a quick little squeeze, and let's see how we did. These just took minutes to make, and now I have 3 complete, ready to go in the mail for the grandsons. I think they're really going to enjoy it. They're going to like the surprise of it, and they will appreciate that when they open it up, it becomes a heart. Now on to the Friday Sews portion of the video. I did make several of those heart wallets. I guess that's what I'll call them. And I have been working on a collab behind the scenes with Izzy from Dizzy Quilts and Sews. I can't say too much other than it's coming out at the end of the month. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a great learning experience. It's something I wish that I had. I did get some happy mail today. I had the patterns I requested from Tape Free Patterns. Erin Sews and Michelle Sews again. They both still have a code that's active, so I got 10% off my order. The code for Erin is Erin Sews 10, and Michelle, it's Michelle Sews 10. Either of those will work for 10% off. No affiliation, but who doesn't like to save? So it came nice and pretty in this Valentine themed envelope. Really quickly, I ordered this January 30th, which I think was over the weekend, and it arrived today, Friday the 7th, and I didn't pay any extra for shipping. I sent it least expensive way possible. So this is how it arrives in the envelope. Each pattern is individually packed into an envelope, nice and neat. It's folded. The first pattern that I had printed was the Youth Reef sweatshirt, and I only printed sizes 10 to 16. I think I'm going to be using this for the older boys. It's only 2 pages. It's on 18-pound paper, so a little bit lighter. They print in color, and it's the same cost as black and white, so that's going to be really easy to trace. I was very intrigued by this sweater, and I think the boys are going to like it. So the next one is also a green style pattern. It is the Youth Brooklyn Jogger. I don't know why I'm showing it to you. It's a blank envelope, but it does have notes on it. And I had it printed in sizes 12 to 16. Again, the Hudson Jogger is my go-to jogger pattern, but my oldest grandson is really tall. He's tall and slim. He just turned 9, and right now I'm sewing the size 10, and I've added 2 inches. So preemptively, I have purchased this pattern. I've had it printed out so that when he gets that little bit bigger where I can't keep stretching the pattern, I have another one to go to for him. The kids really love to have the grandmother made joggers, and I love to make them for them. The final pattern that I purchased was the Eddie cardigan blazer. I know I said that I wasn't going to buy a new release without waiting to see how it looked on Instagram and on different body shapes, but I couldn't help myself. I love the Friday Pattern Company, and I'm always just too tempted when they come out with a new pattern. I had this printed on 18-pound paper, size extra, extra large, and the 1X size, just in case I needed to grade between the sizes, that I would have both of them. But I didn't want to have all the noises of the sizes I knew that I wouldn't be sewing. And I certainly wouldn't be sewing anything this complex for any adult other than myself. And this pattern had 5 pages. I had to run the air conditioning in the sewing room. It is that warm. I love cool weather, probably only because we don't have a whole lot of it. And I know whenever it is cold, it's not going to last forever. But I am missing it already. Charlie has the comforter in the bedroom just in case it turns cold again. So I have a few more days to work on that big bin. I'll show you a photo of it. I have sewn probably a third of the fabric. Once I finish my collaboration with Izzy, I'm diving back into the bin and I'm going to knock out some pajamas and some joggers and a couple of sweatshirts for the grandchildren. And then I'm just going to call it. I'm going to see what size container I can fit the rest of that sweatshirting and French terry, and I'm going to put it up until the next cool weather season. I was talking with Izzy today, and I'm going to have to start early and start sewing in the fall. Well, it's still hot here, but I'll have time to get some things done in anticipation for when it eventually cools down here. I'm pretty proud of what I've sewn from the bin. I've sewn 7 items, and all but 2 are garments for me. I forgot to mention I am wearing the Lotta Dress by Tilly and the Buttons. This is a Minerva exclusive cotton linen blend. I did modify the pattern a little bit. I changed the pockets on the front. I used the pocket from the Peppermint Magazine lounge set shorts as patch pockets, and I really do like them on the Lotta. If you want to see other crafty, gifty style videos, I'm going to link some here. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit the like button and subscribe. I will see you soon.